Hello, and welcome to this video blog. My name is Rob Meager. I'm co-founder of the Center for Human Awakening, along with Richard Harvey. And today, I'll share a reading from Richard Harvey's book, Your Essential Self. And this reading is titled, The Essential Practice of Awareness. Awareness is the vital practice and beating heart of inner work. Awareness brings our alertness and attention to everything, connects us to our real nature, and in time provides the vehicle through which we witness the process of transforming reality. In the beginning, it is expressed in our ability to be present and observe. Awareness stems from a sense of presence. When we are aware, we are present, awake. We are in ourselves and turned on. But many of us have learned to turn off. We have fallen asleep and lost our vibrancy, our sense of wonder, and our thirst for life. We have become fully automatic, jerking along in our stilted conditioning. Nothing short of a great shock, a tremendous effort or experience will dislodge us from our state of comfortable numbness. There are many obstacles to awareness. We develop marvelous ploys for turning off, avoiding, refusing, and getting out of ourselves. Anyone who has been in counseling will be familiar with the window of fascination. When we are nearing the limits of our tolerance, because what is being spoken about feels too threatening, we gaze out of the window intensely as if it is the most absorbing thing in the world. Usually our gaze is defocused or hypnotically trained on an object. Either way, we are glazed over, transfixed, and absent. Well inside, we are busy denying the reality of what is happening. Then there is the floor of shifting patterns. Many times I can remember swimming in an undulating tide of nauseous, hypnotic lines and patterns in the carpet or wooden floor in a desperate attempt to escape some dawning inner revelation. Another defense is the fingers of refusal. At a critical point in self-exploration, the seeker lifts a hand in front of his eyes, examines it in great detail, and becomes totally engrossed in one or more fingers. Less demonstrative, but equally effective, is mental absence. As we get closer to suppressed emotions, we progressively blank off in a hypnotic trance of unawareness. We find ourselves unable to focus or respond to the question we are exploring, and sometimes we are completely unaware of what we have set out to explore. This technique for avoidance uses fantasy, imagination, and distraction to repel some inner threat to our small sense of self. We drive the traumas and the suffering of our lives down into the unconscious in our efforts to survive. Denial, repression, emotional numbness, unresponsiveness, inhibition, and over-intellectualizing feelings are all ways in which our wounded selves attempt to control and suppress uncomfortable or painful emotions. The window of fascination, the floor of shifting patterns, the fingers of refusal, and mental absence all echo the distractedness of the TV generation. Most of us have been raised on television to a greater or lesser degree. We have sat passively and inattentively in front of a flickering screen, gazing at images for excessive lengths of time. The result is a kind of chronic state of hypnosis that we carry over into our everyday life. Many of us are unable to participate fully in natural life, and gazing into space has become a normal pastime. Today, the cost of screen gazing, rendering the eye passive and the mind numb, is high in very small children, as well as in adults. Prolonged exposure to computer monitors, mobile devices, and in-car and in-flight movies, along with the standard TV and DVD screens in every home and office, dominate our work and leisure time. The technological barrage of entertainment and information continually batters our senses into submission and unconsciousness. Our attention becomes numbed, deadened, and conditioned to engage partially for only minimal lengths of time. Our ability to focus has weakened. Our capacity for sustained reflection has withered. Most of us are not even able to think for ourselves. The cost of being incapable of practicing awareness is enormous. So, how do we retrieve our awareness and stop distracting ourselves? First, we ask ourselves where our awareness is focused now, habitually, routinely. Notice that mentally, emotionally, and physically we express our concerns and manifest our values in what we do and how we are. We can see what is important to us and what we value simply by observing how we spend our time and what we do with it. What we do, think, and feel reveals our present practice of attention. Second, we become conscious of how we are using our awareness. We can do this by withdrawing into a neutral inner place and gathering our awareness back into ourself. When it is within us, we feel an inner vibrancy, centeredness, and energy. Sit with this energy for a while. Finally, before you reapply it to an object of focus outside yourself, be sure that it is what you want to do. We can discover a great deal about others by simply practicing awareness openly, without criticizing or judging, by watching how someone enters a room, starts a car, eats food, or handles objects. We get a glimpse into their inner world. Being aware of others is usually easier than being aware of ourselves. Our activities and thoughts are pervaded by an inner atmosphere. We carry unconscious attitudes that preside over our interactions with the outside world and are revealed in expectations and assumptions. In inner work, we may overcome these background assumptions through exploring our unconscious preconceptions. These preconceptions belong to the inner bias or position we take toward life, a fixed self-image. We may be sufferers, martyrs, or wounded souls, helpers, healers, or saviors, survivors, victims, or depressives, happy, zestful, and confident, sad, angry, fearful, defended, or alienated. Whatever image we adhere to, it is simply a mask we have worn for so long that we have forgotten that it's there. When we bring ourselves and our awareness to ourselves, we see these masks clearly. Sometimes we are confused about our inner states or our outer behavior, and we feel helpless to do anything about them. Practicing awareness is usually all we need to do to penetrate the confusion and reach clarity. For inner clarity, all that is required is the attention of the heart. Attention of the heart underpins the practice of inner awareness because the heart embraces everything in a unity, while the mind divides and separates, criticizes, and judges. Therefore, the heart is consonant with awareness, whereas the mind is dissonant with awareness. Awareness requires a willingness to be with what is happening in the present moment, openly, and without judging. It is harder than we may think. We become easily distracted, lose ourselves and our focus, and then return to ourselves time and time again. But with practice and good intent, we can become more skillful at it. When, through practicing awareness, we can truly see, we experience ourselves as object and begin to witness our lives. This leads us to ask the crucial question: who is it that is aware of myself? As we practice, the witness grows stronger until it becomes as strong as, or stronger than, our habitual way of seeing things. The individual self begins to lose its exclusive hold as the witness sees through our defensive and aggressive games and the fear that underlies them. Awareness may be thought of as a threefold process of opening, experiencing, and learning. First, we open to everything without being selective and with a deepening willingness to be present with an inner emptiness. To do this, we have to overcome our resistance and the mind chattering that constantly distracts us. Second, we experience by feeling an increasing sense of presence, releasing our judgments and being in the moment, and not trying to change things. Third, through being with things as they are, we learn from what arises in the present moment. Truth and wisdom are constantly manifesting, ever present, and inviting us to learn.